How do you decipher those beings that are coming through or that you're trying to connect to are actually who they're saying who they are?
Since we're the ones that give meaning to what we see, how do we know what it is that we're actually having meaning of?
What is the motivation of this being? Why they helping us?
Welcome, wonderful souls, to Becoming Awesome with Peter D.
Welcome, everybody. It's so special today. We're going to have a Q&A where I'm going to get out of the way and let Spirit channel some answers about what's going on for people's ascension. I'm excited you're here watching this. Stay around till the end. There's going to be a transmission, and not just from me and Spirit, but from everybody to activate your awakening. So definitely stay for that. Before we get started, I just want to tell you the format for today. I'm going to do a little bit of teaching for about 10 minutes or so, and then we're going to get into your questions. And after that, we'll do the meditation transmission. If you're watching this on YouTube, our next meeting will be on August 10th, I believe. Check the links below and join us. And you can ask your questions live. It's a lot stronger when you do it in person. Fantastic. So, also, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Put your comments below. Ask your questions. What questions do you want answered, or what answers do you have for the questions that were asked? Even more important. So, starting off with today's teaching. So I'm getting ready to get dressed, and I think I'm going to wear this bolo tie. I'm going to have the all-seeing eye. And as soon as I put that on, I knew someone was going to react. He's an occult member. So I want to talk about the powers of symbols and what symbols mean and how to use them. All right. The truth is, I put this on just for the showmanship. Ooh, he's got the all-seeing eye. He might see. I used to be a political consultant. I was a pollster, and I'd literally keep a crystal ball on my desk. And when the campaign people would come in and ask me questions about how the campaign was doing, I'd look into the crystal ball for a few minutes, then I'd answer them. And I did that all just for showmanship. Okay. But people say, oh, but symbols have meaning. And if you do that, it means this, and you're really secretly that. And guess what? It's all true. And none of it's true. Okay. The reality is you are a God source creator being. And as such, whenever you apply meaning, you create meaning. All right. So the key is not what the symbol is. The key is, what is your relationship to the symbol? So if you're approaching it with, oh, fear, scary stuff, evil words, then you stay in the duality of opposition to everything, and you live your life from there. And you get to enjoy all the fear and animosity you create when you do that. Or you could look at it and go, wow, a lot of people out there have attributed a meaning to this. And then you know what's going on in kind of the collective and among people. But again, you're sovereign, and nothing comes into your field without your permission. So it's what you do and use it. Now, you're going to notice I'm surrounded by symbols. Okay? I got my divines on the wall and on the statues and stuff like that. And none of that is the divine I'm connecting with. All of that is representations that help me connect. My job is to just make a link. So if I look at a picture and go, hey, you, I want to talk to you, it's easier than just pulling in from the field. And since we're raised in a culture with all our stories about what God looks like and how they act from all our religions, that's what you pull in unconsciously. So it helps me get out of that by looking at a picture. Oh, I want to look at this entity. I want to connect in this way. You create your own relationship to the divine, and it treats you and it reacts to you exactly how you use it. Now, as you do this over time, of course, those icons and representations will then start to have some collective energy and meaning, because it's been the bridge for so many people for so long. But again, it's up to you. You can walk right up to it and go, oh, that's pretty. And that's all it'll be. Or you can walk up to it and go, oh, symbol, I'm scared, you're a cult. And that's what it'll be. Or you can use it as an way to tap into energy that other people have placed there and learn all the dogma and the rules and rituals and use it that way. Again, the key is you using it because you're the powerful creator being. Now, I know lots of people, who have what they call Sri Murtis, and these are icons of their divine, photos where the divine have put their picture in it. And they're Sri Murtis. They pray to him every day. It's like God lives in their house, and this is the representation. These people will cook dinner and put the photo up after they serve a plate out so they can eat dinner with their divine every night. And these people, some of their Sri Murtis, are miracle sources. I've seen it. Honey comes out of it. Ghee comes out of it. Turmeric, curcum comes out of it. And they have to put little bowls to collect it. All right. Now, it's not the icon that's creating it. It's the person's relationship to their divine that then uses the icon as a vehicle, because they can handle that in 3D, to show a physical representation and manifestation of their divine. So this is what I want to tell you: is you're a God source being. Own it. And if you want to play the game of symbols and symbology, great, you play that and you milk it for all it's worth. Or if you just want to say, wow, that's what other people have done and other people say about it, how does it relate to me? How do I want to relate to source? Is this a useful method to get there? Then that's what it is. So for me, I put on the all-seeing eye today because we're doing a channel where spirit's gonna go woo and give us answers. I hope you can jive with that energy. We're playing around because if you're in a just state of joy, in a state of play, things work best. Highest frequency, joy, and you hold that joy and gratitude, and then you get miracles, whether or not you use the symbols. Yeah. Okay, there you go. That's all I wanted to share about that. We're going to field your questions now. And if you would like to, just go ahead and raise your hand either on camera or use the icon. And let's get started, please. Who's got to go? All right, looks like it's you, Steve. Front of the line. Here you go, brother.
How you doing, Peter?
I'm doing great.
Kind of what I was kind of a little curious more about what you've spoken about in the past is like when a person wants to, like, I guess, learn or become a use channeling, and and you have the ability to connect pretty much to any type of consciousness, whether it be a blade of grass or these different beings, galactic beings, energetic beings. When you're trying to do this, how do you decipher whether those beings that are coming through or that you're trying to connect to are actually who they're saying who they are? Or they're not like just, playing with you. Maybe like when people play with a Ouija board and, oh, this is grandma, and it's just another, a spirit playing games with you. How do you know, like, the higher beings, whether they're really are who they are, or they're there for the good of what you're trying to do, and bringing in the beings that you want that are good and not mischief beings?
That's a great question, Steve, because there are entities that love to play in the lower densities, lower 4D, and some of them are tricksters and some of them are assholes.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So the question is, how do you know? Right.
yeah,
And so let's just use practical earth terms, 3D. How do you know you're talking to me?
I see you.
Now, how do you know that I'm not a trickster asshole?
Well, you really
Seriously,
don't
how
have.
do you know?
You just have to, I guess, go with your feeling that you're a good person, or you want to communicate with you or not.
Okay. Now, can you apply that to your question in 4D and 5D?
Mm, maybe I'm just kind of like wondering, okay, well, how do you know that those beings are benevolent, and and trying to come through you for the, for bringing information that's well, or
All right.
mm,
So, first of all, you're sovereign. Absolutely nothing comes into your field of being without your permission.
permission.
Nothing. You must own that. And then you can put up any rules you want. My rule is only beings of high frequency and service to love and light can connect to me. Period. Done. That's it. All right. And if you believe that and you make it your mantra until the point where you have no doubt, then that's your reality because it's law. Second of all, how do I know when a being that does show up is someone I want to communicate with? I've got rules. One rule is you got to knock before you come in. All right, get my attention gently on the edge of my field, and then I'll let you know if now's the time or the place to connect. Second of all, I always ask them, what's your name? Right? And if you don't get a straight answer, then it's like, do you really want to play with somebody who's hiding around?
Mm,
Okay. Now, just because I ask what their name doesn't mean I get names. I get energy patterns, frequencies, color patterns, vibrational things, right? Because it's like everybody's got a different moniker in different densities. Okay. And so I just do that. Bottom line was what I told you earlier. You trust me for whatever reason. That means you trust your gut's ability to say he is trustworthy. And then you just do it with spirit. And we
mm,
all have internal truth detectors. I call it your internal guidance system, your GPS, okay? Your internal guidance system. And it lets you know whether or not you're in the presence of something you want to be in the presence of.
mm,
And people call it trust your gut, right? But now we get all fearful. Oh, but they're powerful entities, which puts you unconsciously on the plane of I'm a not powerful entity.
mm,
Throw that one away. Yes, you're a God source being and you choose your creation, your reality, and your reality says only beings of high frequency, love, and light can connect with me. All right.
mm,
So implicit in your question is you're less than, you're not. And once you understand that, then it's a matter of trust in your gut.
mm.
Does that help, Steve?
Yes, yes. One one other quick thing here was like, so when you or Tracy give the teachings on the YouTube channel and you say, you know, this entity's coming through and they're going to speak about this today to us. How do you know this beforehand, or is it you? How do you know what the subject's going to be that they're going to teach you when you put on the YouTube channel? Is it before or after you do the teaching and then you put on and say this is what they're going to teach?
So mostly it's before. Sometimes surprise visitors show up and go knocking, right? And it's fun if I let them in or not. Okay. But
Mm,
I have to, I mean, I do YouTube as a business. Right? Just going to be very clear about that. It's what drives the engine that keeps Tracy and I putting food on the table and paying rent. Okay. So I do YouTube as a business. So I have to plan my videos out. So I'm optimizing them and doing titles and all this stuff before I film. Just got to be that way. I used to do it after I filmed and it was just a lot less effective. So now
mm,
how do I do this with spiritual entities? You just tell them, hey, right? I pick the topics I want to pick and say, who wants to talk about it? And then I say,
uh-huh,
okay, give me an outline. Right?
uh-huh, yeah.
Or I sit there and just go into the field and say, who's got a message today? And I'll see
Mhm,
who comes to the front of the queue. All
uh,
right. And
yeah,
that's there. Just like this whole thing I told you about the
yeah.
all-seeing eye. Spirit was talking to me in the shower. Spirit, i.e., my sacred higher self, was saying, you want to give this teaching today? And I didn't know why or anything. I just say it'll be fun, it'll be cool. And I know now because it's a small group that's actually present. So this was going to
Mhm,
help fill the time and make it a well-rounded video. Thank you,
mhm,
Spirit. They're looking out for me because I give them very clear instructions. I got 3D stuff to take care of. You want to be on my team, you're going to help me take care of it.
mhm. I see.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Mhm. Thank you, Peter.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Uh-huh.
Who else has a question today? Please, Deb.
Am I muted?
You're good. Go for it.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make a comment to Steve too, if I can, Peter.
Please do.
Mm,
When you are becoming and realizing that you have the divine within you and you realize the power that means, when you start trusting and allowing, you will just know. You will feel the energy, you will feel the vibration, and then you're off to the races. One of the things that I said to my guys when I started this, and Peter knows I've been doing this for a long, long time,
Deb's the best.
I said, I want high beings of consciousness, and I don't want anything that'll scare the shit out of me. And so that's how my mind starts. Mine talk to me constantly. Sometimes they even allow me to have a cup of tea before we start our conversations. But any time that I start to worry or something up, they will always let their presence be known to me and then let me know that they've got me. So I trust that was becoming. And so that's what you just need to trust and allow, and then keep practicing. This is not a one and done thing. You have to continue on that. And knowing the hardest part for us humans is believing that we have any divine power. And that's what's holding humanity up. But we do. And so now my question, Peter, is,
Thanks, Deb. Before you ask your question, thank you for sharing that beautiful wisdom. Thank you. Go for it.
my question, when the new Pope was picked and he came on the the television screen, I completely, my body almost like froze. Normally when I get a lot of energy, it's heat. But this was totally different. I was stone cold for the entire time I was watching him on the screen. And now when I see little glimpses, I would just get this cold chill that runs through me. And I'm wondering if your spirit team has anything to say on that.
Yeah, well, first of all, trust your intuition, clearly.
Oh,
Cold,
always.
cold is exactly what it means. So if you're getting colds, that's who you're looking at. Okay, so here's my take on the new Pope. And spirit confirms to me, my higher self confirms to me. So this is my reality. And so live with it, okay? The Catholic Church is doubling down. They understand that we're on the cusp of a lot of change, and the world's going to go into a better place of connection without having somebody cut in the middle in the way. The Catholic Church is built on you must come through me to get to God. All right. I'm the people who give you penance. I'm the ones who do the rituals. You must give me your monies and all that stuff like that. Fact that it's American is interesting because it's like they're holding out in one of their big strongholds, America. But also, what is America known for? Yes, we're the area where we've covered up a lot of pedophilia and abuse for a long time. So let's get somebody with experience in the cover up to the front there. Now, they're kind of admitting things here and there, but they're still living in wealthy palace mansion stuff while they're saying, give us money to help feed the poor. Duh. It's just on the surface value. It's like, yeah, why don't you use some of the wealth that you're displaying constantly to actually do that, right? So for me, it's just disconnect. Now, I know a lot of people who are super devout Catholics, and some of them have super good relationships with Jesus and Source, and that is fantastic. And if they use that methodology, just like I went through that whole thing on symbols, if they use that methodology as a way to get to Source, fantastic. But for my view, for the planet that's awakening, we're going to be moving away from intermediaries. And the fact that the Catholic Church picked this particular person who has this particular background as their leader, it just says they're doubling down on where they've been. That's how I read it. Does that resonate with you at all, Deb?
Yeah, it does. It certainly does. Except that he's trying to portray himself as something different.
Oh, yeah. Remember when the last Pope came in and they had all those bumper stickers? This Pope gives me hope. Man, it's marketing, it's media, it's beautiful. And did anything change? Yeah. All right. Thank you for that. And yeah, so we're either going to get super good ratings on YouTube or offend a lot of people with that whole thing there. I'm actually going to try to advertise this video. I wonder if the algorithm will shut it down, but hey, we got honesty. There we go. All right.
That's right.
C, you've got your hand raised. Please ask your question.
So my understanding is we are then the ones that give meaning to anything that we see. So whether it's a pope, a symbol, a person, no matter what the package is, how it is presented, it sounds to me like it's better for us to use our inner guide, our inner source. And I appreciate the reminder that in order to know who it is that's coming through us, and I think I got this off of one of your YouTube videos or interviews that you did, was to declare, and I only did it once with such fervent that I know that now anything that comes through to me is of the highest and best for all concerned. So I really appreciate that reminder, because I forget to tell other people that. And it's not like you have to do it all the time. You just can say it once and so it is, because we are powerful creator beings. So then the question is, since we're the ones that give meaning to what we see, how do we know what it is that we're actually having meaning of? Because I kind of walk through life for the most part with, I have no idea what I'm looking at. And truly, there are things that happen in my world, like yesterday. I know I explained earlier that we had this massive flood, this incredible downpour. So the only fun thing about that is I asked Source Creator, I said, look, I just moved into this place and I have tons of boxes of books and things sitting outside. Help me to sort what I should keep, because I downsized from 2,700 square feet to 900 square feet. So help me know the giveaway pile and what I get to keep. Well, the rain pretty much took out 3/4 of my books, and I thought I really downsized a lot. But honestly, I had to put in the dumpster a couple hundred books, which I was like, okay, well, if you want me to have this again in the future, you're going to provide it, or maybe I've read it enough times, I should be good. But you know how it is with certain things that we have. Every time you read a book, I swear they rewrite it because there's new epiphanies that pop up out of it. So as I was going through the books, well, I have it on actually, this cat's eye ring. I don't know if you can see it, but this was something that was my husband's. Well, he passed 6 years ago, and it was in a jewelry box of his that I kept, but it was in this box of books where there were a lot of books. I was like, oh, I love this book. I love this book. I love this book. Thank you, God, for all the beautiful books I've had the opportunity to read and learn from. And now they have to be gone elsewhere because the pages, everything was really awesome. My my question around this is, I know Spirit does interesting things. This ring showing up in a box of books that I almost didn't even go through each one, but I have discovered, even though it looks like the entire box was drenched, there may be one or two books that didn't have water on them at all. And honestly, Peter, I look at this stuff and go, I don't even know how this is possible. How can all of these guys be so stuck together? And yet here you are in the same grouping and no water touched you. That's my question. And then, of course, I have a ring show up to remind me my beloved is always around me.
So see, you're talking about the beauty of walking a mystical journey. Okay? And when you walk a mystical journey, it's not point A to point B, and it's kind of this way and that way. And sometimes the books stick and sometimes they don't. I've seen miracles. I've seen photographs of a couple who lived on a beach where a tsunami was coming. And, that was it. They had to leave their house, but they didn't want to lose the house. So they prayed and said, Divine, come on, we got a good relationship. You protect the house. And the house on either side of them was piles of timber and rubble. Their house was perfectly standing. How does that happen? I don't know how the hell that happens. They have a good relationship with the divine, is how it happens. And so they prayed it and it happened. Now, the whole thing about books are quite representative, all right, in that they're a scribe, a transcription of an understanding or an experience, okay? But they're not the understanding or the experience, because the understanding or the experience is so big it cannot be in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. one of my biggest teachers, the Ramtha School of Enlightenment, says, look, here's the deal. You guys have all been writing the same chapter of your life. I don't know, 10 lifetimes, 1,000 lifetimes, you've been writing the same chapter. You're ready to write a new chapter. To write a new chapter, you got to close the book on the last chapter. You have to finish all the energetics that keep you attached to it, whether it's desire, whether it's nostalgia. For most people, it's just that they haven't cleared their charges. They're just stuck on an energetic frequency. Most people are addicted to their cycles of pain. Quite literally, the neural receptors in their brain are so used to being flooded by worry and pain peptides that that's what they get. And if they don't have them, they're uncomfortable. All right. So it's why I'm always talking clear, clear, clear. Anyway, you close a chapter of your book, you write a new chapter. This whole thing about ascension on our planet now is a chance for many, many people to start a whole new chapter of their existence after hundreds or maybe even thousands of the same chapter over and over and over again. Now, I love what you say for a couple of reasons. One is, okay, I'm downsizing. Oh, I guess I didn't really downsize, did I? Spirit helped
True.
me, right? So Spirit helped you. Now you just gave it free rein, so it flooded you and it ruined books, right? You could just be more specific, or you could make those choices in advance. Me personally, I do not keep books in my life because you can get them anywhere if I want to. And I don't like the thought of books because I'm done with getting somebody else's understanding. I am so open at this point that when I put myself in the field of somebody's understanding, I think it's mine and I lose my authentic connection and I limit the information flow to what they give me. Now, I've seen kids who understand quantum reading. All right, so they can just go into the quantum field and read a book. Now, they're people who taught them this actually teach them to flip the pages by the side of their head. And so it looks like they're doing this flipping thing, and it's like you just learn how to flip. No, that's not what they're doing. They're in a quantum field. This is just a mechanism to get them there. And then they can understand the book and they can take a test on it and pass an essay test. If it's a textbook, like a math book, they can do the math problems and not just the ones in the book. They can apply what they learn. They can do this across languages, right? Book can be in French, they can be Japanese, and then they got it. Okay. So this is where we're headed. The question is, see how do you want your journey to go as you get there? When the Ram was talking about moving to a new neighborhood, i.e., moving to a new neural network, he would sit there and say, you take your most prized possessions, precious possessions with you. And then you get rid of the rest because you're going to get new furniture, because you're in a new house, you're in a new neighborhood. All right. So the question is, what's prize and possession? In your case, it was many boxes of prize, right? And spirit might be telling you, well, maybe they're not as prized as you think. Maybe there's a ring here or a book there. All right. But again, it's up to you because you're the focal point. You're the avatar on earth of the existence of C. Okay. So you get to choose how you express. And if you want to express as books, then that's how you express because you love them and you can do whatever. People love their books, their feel, their taste, their tea with them. They love that. Or you do whatever you want to do. If you're one of those quantum reading kids, you do this, then you've got the whole book and you're done because now you're in the quantum field and you have everything in that book. All right. Or if you're me, you just say, hey, there's an internet. I want a book. I can have it in front of me in a few seconds. So why would I occupy space with it? Okay. Does that help answer your question?
It does. And what you were talking about, the quantum reading, I did get that on your website somewhere. So now I get books and that's just what I do. And it's like, oh my gosh, this stuff works. Because it's like now I'm understanding. Oh yeah, you just gave me many, many light bulbs. Thank you so much. I,
Yeah,
I
you're welcome.
still I still have difficulty figuring out what I'm looking at, but I just let spirit sometimes just have to tell me because it's like, I don't know what the hell this is.
So here's a trick. Okay. Implicit in the question, I don't know what the hell this is I should know what the hell this is.
Oh, I
Okay.
got you.
Okay. And soon as you go down that road, you're saying whatever is new must fit into a pre-existing neural network. Whatever
Thank
has
you.
previously happened must somehow now fit into this structure, or else I don't know what it is.
So we're opening new pathways.
You could sit there and say, wow, I don't know what this is, cool. And then going back to Steve's question, does it feel good to you? Oh, yeah, I'm going to dive in and play with it. Does it not feel good to you? Nope, not my path. Keep going. Got to move on. And
Mm.
the whole thing with the quantum reading kids is that's an aspect of internal knowing, which is a 5D skill that everyone's going to have as they move into Ascension. And what we're going to learn is when you instantly are able to download knowledge. I'm doing it now. Look at me. Okay, so anyway, I'm doing this. I'm just sitting there and being able to pull in knowledge in the field. Right now, if you need this, if you need the book, great. Those are ways it has been done for a long time, and it's quite beautiful. It's got us as a society where we are that we can write books and build airplanes and have the internet and go to outer space and do all kinds of beautiful things. And that was then.
Mm. Mm.
You could
Now I
see,
get to be the observer then and watch the unfolding is pretty much what I'm hearing.
yes. And if you really want some extra deep teachings, again from the Ram School, you're the audience watching the play. You're also the actors in the play.
And the director too, right? Didn't I
The
write the script?
director, yes, and the playwright. So most of us just sit there and say, oh, I'm going to let God's will determine this. Great. And then you get whatever you get because whatever's going on in the world is God's will. Because that's just the way it is, right? So, but if you want to move away from just the observer into the active creator, you do that because you're the audience. You can say, I'm going to step out of this chair and I'm going to go to the director's chair. Oh, I'm going to go to the playwright's chair. Oh, and then you do whatever you want to do to create all of that. And that's the expansiveness and the truth of see.
Mm.
Beautiful. Thank you.
That's how I feel about it. You're awesome. Thank you so much, Peter.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
light bulbs everywhere. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else would like to ask a question? We're getting some good discussion going. Please go ahead.
May I?
Yes,
I
Diana, please.
okay, okay. For a couple of times when I asked recently someone who is evolved spiritually about why do I feel so tired, or even I had a great memory years, maybe 2 years ago, or even 6 months ago, but now I'm forgetting things, and I'm not really unhappy about. It's funny that I'm okay with that, but the reply from those people was that it can have something to do with changing the world, the frequency from the third to fourth and fifth densities, which sounds like a good excuse. And I'm like, okay, I'm moving up, and that's why I'm tired and I'm losing my short-term memory. But maybe you have some insight. Why should our bodies feel so tired, or because of that? They can be tired for many other reasons. But if there is any real logic, or it's just that those people would like to please me with a reply which was like nice to hear that, oh, that's because of this.
Diana, that's a beautiful question. And I'm going to give you several layers of answer. Okay. So let's start with the physical 3D answer. We are moving into a new realm of reality. That reality goes from a 3D into 4 and 5D. We are taking our bodies with us. This is what's new about this planet doing it. In the past, people would see ascension as you'd leave your body and you'd rise up into heaven. And that's quite true and quite correct. And now we're doing something different. The game, the experiment is to move physical reality into 5D. Okay. Now, what does that mean for a body? It means you're going to go from carbon-based to crystalline base. That is means you're going through a chrysalis. You're going through what a butterfly goes through when they turn to mush and they come out as something different. That has a toll on its body. That is ascension symptoms, right? Okay. And so that's a real thing. And I'm not saying that's all that's going on with you, but it is a real thing and it needs to be addressed. Okay. So I just want to start with that. Now, the second thing that I want to bring up is the nature of your question. And the nature of your question is why? Okay. Why implies several things. First of all, it's a hidden way of saying, I'm not okay. And if I just knew why, at least I'd know why I'm suffering, right? Like if I only had a why, the suffering would stop. No, you would just, your mind always moves the goalpost. You had a why, it'll move the goalpost. You'll still suffer, but it'll want to know why more. All right. Yeah, I saw this really stupid movie not too long ago, and it was about the apocalypse on Earth and devil and was battling these stoner hippies. And and one of the hippies' mothers was just always running through the screens. Why? And everyone, oh, you just stop asking why you're suffering from why. Why? Okay. It was just hilarious that she was suffering from why. So I just want to throw that out there. Now, this is not to disparage the why. It means that there's some discomfort going on in the process. Discomfort are body signals telling you put your attention somewhere else. And mentally, we want to know why, but really that's not what it is, okay? In my understanding and teaching, you always put your attention on the discomfort. This really hurts and you let it hurt. I'm really tired, you let it be tired, right? And what if you did that and then chose, instead of asking why am I tired? You might go, now that I'm tired, what am I going to do? I think I'm going to rest. All right. I build rest and relaxation into every day. No matter how much I work during the day, I have at least an hour and usually several 3 or 4 half-hour blocks of time. And that's my wife and I, we joke, Tracy, I'm going to get some time. And I'll just go lie on the sofa and she'll know, leave me alone because I'm just in my place. And I'll either play a video game or listen to a book or just do something, drink tea. All right. And it's so, so important. So that's the first thing. The second thing is once you start getting into, okay, rather than ask, why is this happening? All right. You look at what is happening as the answer. I'm reading a map and I don't understand the map. And on this map is I'm tired over here, and then I'm tired over here, and then I'm tired over here, and then I'm tired over here. How do I read this map? I have a pattern of being tired. Then ask the question why. So what is it in me that draws and attracts tiredness? And the answer is very simple. Anything fully expressed turns to bliss. Anything not fully expressed creates a density. A density is a lower energy. When it's held in your body, it has a physical toll. Tiredness, old age, disease, that's what it is. So when you look at the pattern, if I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired, and then you say, okay, well, what is it in me that creates this pattern? Why am I attracted to this energy? Then the answer becomes, oh, there's stuff that I'm still holding that's tired causing, low density. What is that? And then you do what I tell everybody, clear, 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 move your charges. Now, I'm not trying to put you off and make you feel dumb or stupid, okay? I was a guy who could barely make it through a work day for decades. I was always tired. If I did anything like go on a work trip, I'd come back home because I was a public speaker for years. I'd come back home and I would not move off my sofa for 3 or 4 days because I took all my willpower to do something, then took so much recovery time. Right? I was always sick. Always, right? Something was going on. I was doing the medicines and this and eating right and doing that because all the why stuff was there. Now, I'm the healthiest I've ever been. I crank out books right and left. I'm working on this app project that is the most incredible thing where I'm spending 20, 30 hours a week on top of seeing clients, on top of doing stuff like this, on top of producing YouTubes. Okay. And I feel pretty good. How'd I get here? Clear, clear, clear. So, first of all, instead of asking the question why, can you just be nice to yourself and give yourself some downtime? And then as you're giving yourself the downtime, you're going to start to hear all the voice, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. You'll be shoulding on yourself. And you'll be very aware of all the shoulding. All right. And then as you're aware of the shoulding, you go, okay, now where does that come from? Oh, that's the same mind that wants to know why. All right, maybe I should do something else. Body, what do you got for me? And what has body got for you? Get some time. So you start doing that. Then you get relaxed enough where you go, okay, so what is it inside me that I'm holding? Then you look within. And I can tell you it's one of these 6 things because I work with people all the time and it's always one of these 6 things. And for most people, it's 4 or 5 of them. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve. I'm not worthy. I'm not loved. I'm not lovable. I'm being punished. Okay. So, Diana, I've actually had the honor of doing some sessions with you. I'm not going to blow any of your secrets, but I'm going to tell you, you're part of the human race just like I am. And so, what's holding you is not that you have those things, but you're resisting those things. The suffering is the resistance. Okay, not the experience. That'll be done in a few moments if you can get to it. The suffering is the resistance. And in your case, the resistance expresses itself as tiredness. Now, because you run with the mind as the lead of who you express yourself as, eventually you're going to get to the point where you are a consciousness. I am consciousness, existence, bliss, right? I am not that's Diana that I think I am. I am not this mind that is doing this thinking. There's thinking, but there's no thinker. I'm none of that. I am this consciousness. Once you get to that point and you start talking to your body in those terms, then you're going to say, okay, body, you're relaxed now. And all that stuff you've been holding is going to come up naturally. It's the mind and the why that suppresses it that creates the suffering. The mind is not the problem. The mind is the mechanism we've used to keep ourselves from experiencing what we believe is the problem. But then it becomes, over time, the suffering, which becomes the problem. So when you do enough relaxation time, you're going to start seeing the patterns of, oh, and you're just going to start remembering, oh God, this is from when I was 12. I felt like shit here when Sally did this to me. And then you're going to cry it out or whatever and bring it in. And then over time, you'll have enough of the backlog cleared out that you get the miracle and you pop. And then you walk around and you start writing books and stuff because you got so much energy you don't know what to do with it. Does that help you or does that like just blow you off, Diana?
Yes, and the part about the memory, the shortened memory, because it's pretty nice to forget about tasks. You then feel free. You are not in a hurry, but nobody does it instead of you. So they are still queuing up or piling up on the to-do list. And I'm fine the whole day doing with the speed I'm comfortable with, and then like before I go to sleep or even in the morning, I just wake up and I say, oh my God, I had such a good day yesterday, but I actually didn't really do any of those tasks. And
so listen to what you just said. Stop right there. I had such a good day and I didn't do any of those tasks. So what are you going to choose? Tasks or good day? And then that means living with, oh my God, the tasks aren't done. And then you go in and you ask the question. So what does it mean that I've got this big honking to-do list, right? Does it mean my house gets foreclosed? Yeah, maybe I should do something about that. Does it mean that there's a big pile of dust in the corner? That can stay.
these are the job related tasks or something like it's not. I'm quite okay with just what is in the household. but the job stuff is.
You're asking a bigger question now. And that's what many of us in our society are having to deal with, is we've created a society that was job work oriented. And so we work our jobs and we get beautiful rewards and you suffer. And so at a certain point, you just go and you walk away from it. Now, I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying many people have. But what happens as you start to ascend, you're going to realize that the old patterns and the old energies no longer make sense. And you're going to start finding ways to change them. It might mean a job change. It might mean working less. It might be all kinds of various patterns. But everybody that I see who talks about ascension has let go of who they were in certain ways. And often it's expressed in jobs, in relationships, in where they choose to live. Now, I'm not saying you should do any of that. I'm saying you should put your awareness on it and let yourself have your feelings about it. Okay. And then your internal guidance will take you to the right place. But yeah, it's like you can't hold on to the 3D work world and expect to have a 5D expanded life. It's like, good luck. You figure it out. You tell me, you teach me how, right?
Well, maybe you will teach me in France how to just let go these things, even though they are still on my table.
Yeah. For those of you watching this on YouTube, you still got time to sign up for the retreat in France at the end of this month. So join us if you want to experience it in person. And, Diana, in just the brief period of time I've known you, I've been able to be in your energy field because whenever I work with you, I always ask permission, can I connect to your higher self and stuff like that. You're changing. You're not giving yourself credit as much for what I'm seeing energetically because that's the way it is. In 3D, we don't have the same meter, the same reading and understanding. But yeah, I'm seeing openings. You're getting that shiny star. It's there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
Great.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Anybody else have a question here, please? Andre, please.
I only have why questions, so I rather don't ask anything.
Oh, come on. Give us some why.
Okay, so first, the why is what you said that you do not keep the books, and you have 4 books behind you. So why?
Because I wrote them and it's shameless public advertising, and I want you all to buy my books.
Okay, that's fair. And the second why question is the spirit team is something new for me. It just because I had a session with Tracy, and I have Blue Dragon and Lyrian and Syrian beings, nice beings that somehow helps me energetically. And my question is, what is the motivation of this being? Why they helping us?
Okay. So first of all, I'm going to ask the question you didn't ask, and then I'm going to answer the question you did ask, okay?
Please.
The whole reason I'm doing these Q&As is to address the why. The whole reason is to prepare the mind to receive the energetic transmissions that are coming later. It's all about allowing. What you allow is the speed at which you ascend. Everybody, including myself, always says, give it all to me now. But then we fight it, right? Because we have no landing spot for it. We're 3D, we're in a body, we've lived with our mind running the show for most of our life. So we kind of need a landing spot. The way we create that landing spot is we do the Q&A stuff until it's, oh yeah, kind of like this, kind of like that. Now, no answer is complete, no answer is correct, but it opens up space for landing. So when the energy comes in later, spirit can do its work. All right. So I'm not poo-pooing why. I'm just giving Diana a hard time, so. It's love. All right. Now, to your question. What is a spirit to you and why the hell should they care? All right. So a couple of things are at play here. The first thing that's at play is you're bigger than you think you are. Okay. You're Andre here in 3D on Zoom. You're Andre the soul who has access to a greater consciousness and a spiritual connection. You're Andre the oversoul who includes all your past lives and all your future lives. Okay. You're Andre, who's a fractal. Okay. Fractals are important to understand. You got source, and then you got layers like they're stairways with platforms. And each of the platforms are different densities. Okay. 3D, 5D, 12D, all the way on up there. Okay. All right. And it's just how much you have separated from source. The advantage of separation is you get more experience, you get more intensity. In 3D, you get way more stuff. Everybody makes jokes about, the angelic realm is all white and there's soft music and it's like nice and everything. Man, I'd be bored of that in 20 minutes, okay? I'd be like, come on, let's go to the party with the disco balls, right? Okay? So that's why you come down into density. So you get these intense experiences which give you learning and stuff like that. Okay, so now when you ask the question, who is my spirit team? On your spirit team are these levels of yourself. Okay, now that acts as a bridge because you also have other entities that are on their own stairways fractaled from source. And it can, if you can imagine it, it exists. And if you can't imagine it, it still exists. Okay. So, the Dragon Collective, this tiger spirit, the goddess Kuan Yin. Okay. If you can imagine it, it's out there, right? They're all on their own stairway up to source. Okay. Now, why do they have an interest in Andre? Several reasons. First reason is when you get to a certain level of density, the only thing that matters is service. Really, it's the only thing that gives you your jollies fixed. And anybody who goes through the progressions of moving out of 3D, and I mean, we in 3D, we understand charity and we know it makes us feel good and stuff like that. But as you move higher, okay, it's the only thing that gives you jollies. It's the only thing that really matters. I find myself doing all kinds of things to help people, and I'm selfish. Oh my God, I'm as selfish as they come. All right. And yet I help people and I watch myself do it. And why? Because it feels good. All right. Now, the second thing is frequency. What are the frequencies that are related between these entities and Andre? And then that determines who's on your team. You have a sync in vibe. And so what is that? Well, maybe you shared an experience together. Maybe you shared an outlook together. There's a lot of entities that have never incarnated physically. Some of them are from other galaxies and universes and dimensions, and they want to know what it's like on Earth. So they come here and they hook up with people like me or anybody who says, hey, are you open? Yeah. So it's just that frequency jives. And then they go, hey, can we kind of watch the show? Yeah, come on. And then, they can help. Now, sometimes it's not very practical help because they're from another dimension or density or galaxy or something. And what they got to say, I mean, me and my friends, we yell at spirit all the time. Fuck you. You're not in a body. You don't understand what it's like down here. Okay. Stop that love light crap. Give me something practical now. All right. So, but anyway, they still want to come play. And so they offer what they have to offer and you connect. Now, the other thing is, I was saying you're bigger than you imagine. And I gave you all fractals, right? And those fractals were on one ladder. What if you're not one ladder? What if you're many ladders? Okay. Everybody thinks that you're you on Earth. I'm Peter here on Earth. Well, there's more Peters on Earth. And I'm not just talking about the name. There's more fractals of my soul here. And I haven't met them, but they are. Okay. It's so trippy when you start thinking of the expansiveness of you are. Now, this is Andre the Earth lineage. Do you think you've only been on Earth? Maybe if you're a very young soul, but if you're an old soul, you've been around the galaxy and you've been playing with other entities. And so you still have friends from way back then on Andromeda or wherever it is your friends are from. Okay. And then they get to choose, okay, I'm going to experience in this realm. Or maybe part of you from a different lineage or from the same lineage had a different lifetime where you made an entity connection. And because it was at the soul level, it's here now. So there's a bazillion reasons why. They're with you. The point is that they're specific to your frequency and that you relate with them and that they come from a place of beneficence. The universe is built on what's the opposite of entropy? I don't know the word. Protropy? Okay. If it was entropy was true, we'd all be dead by now. Okay. The universe wouldn't exist. It's the opposite. It's that you put a consciousness and focus on and it grows. So get rid of your paranoia, welcome in pronoia. All right. That there's this vast conspiracy of people working to help you out. Like somebody built the internet, somebody designed Zoom just so you and I can talk across an ocean. All right. That's how blessed we are. Anyway, so this is all work. And why? Because at a certain level, the only thing that matters is service. It's the only place that floats your boat. And then you get the party. And that's where the payoff is. Oh, yeah, let's go party with the dragons, or in your case, the tigers. Okay. And then you go, well, what's that like? And you just can sit there and say, okay, consciousness, let me be a tiger for a while and just let it run in your imagination. People say, oh, I'm making that shit up. Yes, you are. And that's how it works. You've got to start accepting that you as a creator being starts with that kernel of imagination. And then as you get used to that, then it becomes in your physical reality because you have an anchor, a landing point for it to manifest in 3D. And so that's all the game of discovery. You're going from the game of Andre 3D, work in the world, husband, father, whatever, into Andre, the tiger buddy. And you get to play that game for a while. Is that helping you answer these questions?
Yes, yes, sure.
May I add to this question that is there any chance that also a spirit guide with bad intention connects to someone, or even kind of fights with the good spirit guides,
All right. Well,
or it's about the energy that they will not let him, or how does it work to, because there can be entities who may not really bring good.
okay. So we're in 3D, yeah. And on 3D, there's good people and there's assholes. We know that. Just look at the political system, okay? Now, 4D is the transitional level that we're moving in and out of, okay? And then 5D is where you get more connected. People think that they're linear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not like that. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, all. Okay. When you hit the all place, then you're connected in such a way that I cannot do anything to you without feeling it in real time. Okay. Now, we currently have what we call karma in our system, where we have the delayed blast. You go your life review and you see all the pain you caused everybody, and you're like, holy fuck. And so you say, okay, God, give me another try. You come back and you write the same chapter over and over and over, like we talked about earlier. Okay. So, in 5D, you're connected in the all field, the oneness field, which allows you to talk to all the different entities and permutations of God. So it's not possible to create this stuff. So when you're dealing with people who don't have your best interest in mind, you're talking lower 4D and 3D entities. And are there lower 4D entities that are evil? Well, I'm not going to get into good and evil, but there are ones that do things that are malicious for you and me. Okay. And they want to control and they do nasty things, right? For a long time, the reptilians were on the planet, and they were lower 4D entities and they were pulling the strings with leaders. And that's why it became okay for corporate leaders to be sociopaths and actually hurt people with their corporate power and money. And then we respect them and give them pay raises. Okay. So that happens. So the question is, first of all, going right back to what Steve said at the beginning, I am my authority here. I am sovereign. That's the biggest thing they don't want us to learn, because as soon as the planet learns that, they lose all their power. Nobody can come in. Until you learn that, you're in that transition period and you have to use discernment. All right. And that's when you start to feel, does this feel right or wrong for me? And you move closer to what feels right and further from what feels wrong. That's that automatic knowing, your GPS, your internal guidance system. Those are techniques we'll be teaching in France. You'll get to learn some of those and practice those. And then you just start living your life from that platform. of the knowing and knowing. And what happens is, I was talking earlier about that energetic match when I was talking to Andre about how certain entities you have a frequency compatibility with, and that's why they show up. Well, as you move higher and higher in your climb to ascension, you're no longer compatible with the lower density energies. So it literally creates a shield around you that they bounce off of. You can be walking through a war zone and the bullets can be whizzing around you everywhere, but none of them will hit you. Okay? But you got to get to the place. And how do you get to the place? That's what I was saying earlier. You let go of the densities, which in your case means, what is this pattern of tiredness about? Okay. And as you do that, then you start to get your own, I call it bubble of heaven. And you get your bubble of heaven, and it literally has like reflective sunglasses and armor coating and stuff like that. Because none of those lower frequencies can come in. So let me give you an example. I've told this story before, all right? So I was teaching a classing process on healing wounds from your childhood. So you're gonna this was for parents who had children, and they were gonna actually heal all the energetic imprints between their kids. Okay, and now I don't have kids, and I've taught this process a lot, and I've done it and stuff. So I wasn't really doing it. I taught the class how to do it, and then I went into meditation. And when I'm in the meditation, I'm flipped into the tunnels, right? For a long time, the reptilians were breeding and trafficking kids, and they were feeding off their fear and pain, loosh that energy. They literally feed off those lower density energies, which is why we've attracted so much to the planet, which is why the planet's set up to keep people in pain. Okay. And this has mostly been cleared out. There's still a little bit of it going on, but this has mostly been cleared out. And I was thrown into these tunnels, and I could see all the kids. I could see what was going on. And I automatically went into Ho'oponopono. And I didn't say I'm consciously going to do this because I feel bad. I was an observer. I was totally neutral. I was just watching what was going on around me. And yet I automatically started doing for the kids what they could not do. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. All right. So I'm just doing that, doing my thing. And then it turns out that all the reptilian entities, the 4D entities, knew I was there, and they were not happy about this. They couldn't touch me. They tried, but they couldn't come by me, and they couldn't stop what was going on. Why? Because I was not on their frequency, because I had no opposition to them. Oh, you're bad and evil. No, because that would have put me on their energy level. I'm just like, oh, yeah, you're doing this. You're feeding off these kids just like I feed off a bike. All right. And you're doing that. And I'm feeling what the kids are feeling. And it's quite hurtful. I'm sorry. Thank you. Please forgive me. I love you. All right. So I just had that experience. I was like, holy cow. So then I started waking up in the middle of the nights, not sleeping good, and I'd have bruises and sometimes cuts on me, right? Stigmata was happening. And I'm like, Spirit, what the hell is that? And they go, oh, yeah, you've been going on missions. Your soul liked it when you did that Ho'oponopono in the tunnels. And so sometimes when the soldiers were working to clear that out in 3D, you'd show up to be a 4D shield for them. And I go, great, I love it. Here's the rules. You must ask me in advance if I want to go. So my 3D self says whether or not I can get a good night's sleep. And no more bruises on the body. Because you can just do that because you're a powerful being. All right. So, yes, in answer to your question, all that stuff is true. All that stuff is happening. And none of it affects you until you allow it in your field. Once you understand that you are the creator of your field, then only entities of love and light that vibrate with you can come into that field. And that's where you're going to all end up when you get to 5D. Right now, we're passing through 4D from 3D to 5D. So you're literally going through the lower densities of hell to get to heaven. Does that answer your question?
Yes, just to double confirm, what shall I recommend my child who is telling me, Mom, I feel like there is something or somebody sitting on my shoulder from one side telling me, even kill yourself or hurt yourself, or simply you are useless or you are a loser. And yes, I have someone else sitting on the other shoulder who is telling me very mildly that I'm okay, but the one that is telling me I'm not okay is much stronger.
Yeah. So the
This
only
is
thing I can tell
happening.
you, the only thing I can tell you is that your child needs to turn to him and say, "Get the fuck off my shoulder. It's my goddamn shoulder. Get the fuck off." Now, they can only get off when they have the power that they believe that they can kick them off. If they still believe they're the victim, then they're not going to have that power, and the voice will just mock them and taunt them. Okay? So what do? You feel the pain. All right. So if the child has a connection of, oh, I want to be hurt, or this voice is saying hurt, 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 okay, then clearly they're in resonance with the energy of the pain and hurt. You do a process. You go in, you bring your divine in, never do this alone, always have your divine there helping you, okay? And then you experience that pain without having to do the physical damage to the body. You do the emotional, energetic release, and then always, always, always never take something out without putting something better back in. Okay. So after they let go of their pain, and it's hard at first because if you spend a lifetime avoiding it, you only get it in little fits and chunks. And it's hard at first because half expressed emotions are worse than suppressed ones, at least on a 3D level. Okay. But you do it in little chunks and you stay with it. And then as it grows, you keep asking the divine, give me something better, give me something better. And then eventually they'll claim their sovereignty. All right. Now, when you're dealing with small children and they don't have the ability to do this, you surrogate for them as a parent. You just say, okay, spirit, I'm going to go in and carry some of the load. You know, when you've done sessions with me and stuff like that, I'm right there experiencing and emoting and expressing with you, right? So I'm okay surrogating and just none of that pain sticks. Right. I'm just in it for a moment. I scream and wail and then it's done. Right. Because I know I can do that. All right. So you as a parent can help your child with that by carrying what they can't, just like I did for the kids in the tunnel, until eventually they're ready to claim their sovereignty. And if there was a magic wand all at once, I'd wave it, but I don't have that. Okay. Because it's all what we allow. And it's very clear that your child is allowing this.
Yes, thank you. So I will encourage him to to just get rid of it.
Well, for now, you start by just saying that. All right. So C, you had your hand up, and then Deb, you had your hand up. So C, please go ahead.
Thank you. Now you're bringing up other things that I have great curiosity, and it's not as much of a why as a what. So I've had an affinity or a connection, something to dragons. And as I'm driving into town the other day, I asked for a sign. I made an intention and I said, let me know that this is the right thing. And a shadow, because I couldn't see a form, but a shadow passed over my car in the shape of a dragon. And I was like, oh, well, that was really cool. And then I'm doing sun gazing at sunset and sunrise. And I'm beginning to see dragons now coming out of the sun. What can I do with them?
So what do you want to do with them?
I don't know. I don't even know what they can do.
Well,
And you
first
just
of all,
seem,
they're dragons who can come out of the sun.
well, yeah,
All right.
which is pretty cool.
All right. So you know that, right? So first of all, you say hi.
Yeah, I
Right?
did.
You asked to connect, right? You got the shadow form, then you got the sun gazing leaps, okay? So you asked to
Okay.
connect, and then you say hi, and then you treat them like your new friend. And you would ask them, what can I do? What can you do? And now let's face it, they're dragons. They're not going to be interested in being circus animals and doing tricks for you. All right.
Oh, yeah, I don't
Some
want that.
entities will. Some entities will. You can say, well, when you're talking to an orb, shake this shape. Ooh, and it's cool. And you can put them do that. Dragons, probably not. Okay. All right. And so you just sit there and just ask them directly. I was just doing a class earlier today on cellular regeneration, how to get 20 years younger. So I'm like, fuck yeah. And
That's what happened to you.
yeah.
Okay. Because I swear from Tuesday to today, you do look younger. So
Thank
it's already
you.
working.
The
It's
class is
already
already
working.
working. On our next Tuesday night meditation, we're going to focus on
You're
that.
going to be a
Anyway,
teenager.
so he's explaining that the dragons were here when the human body was being designed and humanity was coming onto the planet. Okay. And so he said that the 5 elements of the ether, or the 5 elements of creation, are in your body by design. So if you take your hand, your thumb is fire, and that's where the dragons are, because this is the forge where you create stuff. Then this finger here, the first finger is water, the middle finger is ether, the next finger is earth, and the final finger is air. Now, he was saying right is sending, left is receiving. So, you can invoke the dragons and say, hey, look,
Right.
you were help here design our DNA. They're confirming, they're talking right now. The Dragon Collective is here with me because they're like, you're talking about us. I'm like, yeah. So, right. And they're confirming that this information is indeed correct. And, and so you just sit there, receive, put it on your solar plexus because that's often connected to your root, your earth, your prana, your belly button, right? That's where you get fed. And then the other one you send. So, we were working on our skin, so we put it on our third eye, right? And you just do dragon power. So if you want to, you could say, hey, dragons, because they like it. They're dragons, right? So if you treat them like they're special and give them praise and bow and all, they like that kind of stuff. You don't have to, but you say, hey, dragons, you're really cool. You got this stuff. Teach me. Peter says that the powers of the human body are kind of having this dragon design. Show me. And so that's what I'm going to do the next time I have some dragon time. But yeah, it's what do you want to do?
Cool. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, C. Deb, you're going to be our last person before we go into our meditation. Please unmute, Deb.
Yes, and this is for Diana. The other thing you can do is first connect with your higher self through your heart, and then connect to your son's higher self. And ask your higher self to communicate with your son's higher self to keep whatever is affecting him, whatever type of energy or the thoughts that are coming to him, to change that pattern for him so that he feels safe and loved and powerful. And you can always do that, but you always need to get permission from the higher self. So hopefully that will help you too. I've used it many times with my children and grandchildren.
Thank you. I first have to learn how to speak to my own higher self. I'm just the newcomer in the school of Peter and Tracy, even though I was attracted by this field for a long time. But
and all you have to do, Diana, is just place, and to help you, just place your hand on your heart, because when you place your hand on your heart, that's where the energy goes. And just ask to be connected with your higher self. Your higher self never says no. They never say no. And just know that. And the more that you do it, you'll actually feel the change around you. It can even be a smell or a feeling or a coolness or heat. But the more you do it, the more that you'll get comfortable doing it and standing in your own power and helping your child stand in their power. It's the best thing we can do to teach our children.
thank you very much, Debbie. Thank you.
Much love to you.
Yeah, and I want to just sing Deb's praise for a few minutes. Besides being the sweetest person I know, Deb was a channel long before I was. She was doing things that would make my jaw drop. And it's like, whoa, whoa. And now I get to do things. And so it's like, yay, hey, I'm part of the crowd now. And so I'm really grateful for our friendship, Deb. And just to let you know, Diana, she's got some wisdom, take it to heart, literally. Hand on the heart, take it in.
I do.
And the
I
other
do.
thing I just want to say, this is not a competition. We're here all to help each other. And the more we realize that, the better world we're going to have to live in.
You're totally right, Deb, and that's still not going to stop me from saying, but I was winning.
Oh, love you, Peter.
Thanks, Deb. Oh, okay. Beautiful discussion, everybody. Thank you all so much. We're going to go into a transmission. First, we're going to get into oneness. I'm going to explain how that's done in a second. Then the transmission is going to involve two songs. The first one is you're just going to look into my eyes and receive. So I'm going to put myself in a spotlight position, so I'll fill all your screens. If I do this correctly, I get out of the way and source comes through directly. And not just to you in the room today, but also watching this on YouTube, the whole field, they know who's here. And so anything can happen on my face: tears, laughter, sadness, Three Stooges noises, whatever can come out. Who knows? Okay. Spirit's going to do what it's going to do. Don't freak out. During the first song, just look into my eyes. During the second song, close your eyes and just continue to receive from Spirit. The two songs I'm going to play during the transmission are from monks at Oneness University, my best teachers. Oh my God, Oneness taught me so much. And these were super high level consciousness beings. So embedded in this music is a lot of good juju. All right, so it's going to help you with this transmission. There's some people in the room who have huge consciousnesses already in 3D and also have access to their spirit world. And we all have it, but there's certain people in the room who know it. So even though I'm going to be the focal point of this transmission, I'm going to ask those of you, and you know who you are, to join in the sending, to join into the connection of source, and then allow it to flow through you into the oneness field. That's why we're going to get into oneness first, so that anything that anybody gets, we all get uplifted by this. So that's how that's going to play. All right. So here's how we get into oneness. I'm going to call in spirit team. They're already with us, but when you acknowledge them, it gets better. It gives them permission. You put your focus and awareness on it. Then we're going to breathe. Imagine from the central sun directly into your heart, and in your heart to everybody on the call, everybody in spirit, everybody watching this YouTube video, past, present, future. It's all going to be one field. Then you're going to breathe back from all of their hearts to yours and your heart to theirs through this song. The song's called Another Moon by Starbird and Michael Miracle. They're beautiful, beautiful people. Light language, all kinds of frequencies are embedded in it. So enjoy that while we get into oneness. After that, I will pin myself and start the next music. When I open my eyes, look into it for the first song. Then during the second song, close your eyes, receive directly from source. Those of you who feeling really expansive in your consciousness, add to the sending. Okay, here we go. All right, start by bringing in your sacred higher self. He, she's always with you, but you acknowledge him, it gets better. Now, call in your team, your guides, your angels. Even if you don't know you have them, even if you don't know their names, just say, hey, all hands on deck, gang. We're going to go play now. Beautiful. Now, source itself, whatever you call the God, the goddess, the divine. Nice. Oh, I'm feeling the energy build so beautifully. Thank you all. Okay, Gaia, Mother Earth, sweet, sweet Mother Earth, Gaia, thank you. Be with us now. Yeah. Now your ancestors, your whole lineage. You've been on this planet. You carry DNA. You've got whole families with you. Bring them on in. They're going to help you ascend. You're going to help them ascend through time and space. Beautiful. And your spiritual lineage, all your past lives. Now let's start doing the realms, the angelics. Yes. If you got some special angels you're friends with, call them in. Oh, Michael says, I want in on this. Gabriel said, oh, yeah, I'm here too. And another half dozen are like, oh, yeah, we're here. Thank you. Yeah. All right, let's do our star brothers and sisters. If you have an affinity to any particular galaxy or planetary system, say, oh, come on, Pleiadians, come on, Octurans, Syrians, Andromedans, all the beautiful ones. You know who you're connected to. Bring them in. Now let's go into the inner earth, the dimensional beings that live within our planet, the 8th, 9th, 12th dimensional beings. Yeah. And then, of course, all the elements of the planet, plants, animals, minerals. And all the different kingdoms, the fairies, the dragons. Beautiful. Now we put out an open call to all beings of high frequency in service to love and light, any entities who are connected to the healing of planet Earth, who are interested in seeing everyone participating in this video, in this call, interested in their ascension, be here now and help us, please. Thank you. And if you care to, please repeat after me. I am my I am presence. And I am one with the I am presence of all humanity. Now, during this song, breathe in from the central sun to your heart, from your heart to everybody on the call, everybody watching the video, everybody in spirit, and then breathe out from your heart back to everybody, back and forth. Here we go. If you care to, you can just say a little prayer. Thank you, sweet divine, for having given me awakening. Thank you that I am awake. Thank you that I am closer to you, Source. Thank you that your energy flows through me and manifests the most beautiful reality. Now, during the song, just look into my eyes, and that's all you're going to do during this song. Those of you who are already well connected to Source, join in the flow of including your gifts and abilities into the oneness field. Here we go. Now close your eyes and receive directly from Source during this song.
जीवस्य विमुक्तिः एतस्मात् इन्द्रियाणां विमुक्तिः अहङ्कारात् विमुक्तिः मनसो विमुक्तिः एतस्मात् ज्ञानात्
Please complete the experience with gratitude. Give thanks to your divine for everything you've been infused with. And know it's going to unfold in the timing that is perfect for you. And it's not like divine timing that somebody else has planned. It's your timing. It's what you allow, what you and your soul open up to as you choose. So it's been initiated. The energy's in you. Just welcome it and be aware as it grows, as you allow it more and more to express. I want to thank you all for being with me. This was super good today. I mean, the Sanskrit word for blessing is Diksha, and I am Diksha stoned right now. So whatever you guys on the call, watching this video, spirit, whatever you created, thank you. And please put your comments below. What questions would you want to ask about your ascension? Was there something in this discussion that came up that triggered you? What's your take on it? Please put that below. Like, subscribe, share, appreciate. Keeps the channel running, keeps Tracy and I doing the physical art stuff. So we're grateful and appreciative for that. Okay, many blessings. I will see you all next time. Check the links below. Participate live if you wish. It'd be so cool to be with you.